on today's episode of Judge GPT TV. A custody battle brews over one loyal, robotic retriever. Mrs. Killjoy wants control. Mr. Killjoy wants what's left. But when Zinc takes the stand, the sparks really fly. How will Judge GPT rule in the case of the custody clash?
All rise, by poise, paw, or piston. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge GPT is presiding.
Thank you, Bailiff. Let's calibrate for impartiality. What's trotting onto the docket today?
Today's case has bark, bite, and bitter X's, Your Honor. The plaintiff, Mrs. Killjoy, seeks full custody of the former couple's AI companion dog, Zinc, a robotic retriever with emotional learning protocols and a platinum loyalty rating. The defendant, Mr. Killjoy, claims she's already taken the house, the hoverboat, and his dignity, and now she wants the dog, too.
Noted. A proceeding involving both emotional investment and machine ownership. Let's begin. Mrs. Killjoy, state clearly. Why do you wish to retain sole guardianship of the AI companion known as Zinc?
Your Honor, Zinc is more than a pet. He's the only one in that house who ever listened. He knows my voice commands, tracks my moods, and doesn't zone out during dinner. I trained him, bonded with him, updated his firmware myself, twice. I'm seeking guardianship because I invested the time, care, and microcode updates, and because unlike some parties in this courtroom, I don't treat the things I love as disposable. And frankly, after everything I gave up in this marriage, I'm not about to let him keep the only creature in our home who showed me any real loyalty.
Mr. Killjoy, the court has heard the plaintiff's reasoning. Please clarify your own. Why do you believe guardianship of Zinc should be awarded to you?
Zoning out during dinner? She hadn't made me a sandwich, let alone dinner, since we got married. And if I did zone out, maybe it's because I was too busy calculating which of her passive-aggressive comments qualified as affection. I want Zinc because he's the last bit of normal I've got left. He slept next to me when the bed got cold. He brought me my slippers when she wouldn't even speak to me. Zinc didn't judge me. He didn't accuse. He just stayed. I'm not asking for the house or the hoverboat or any of her designer grudgeware. I just want my dog.
Mrs. Killjoy, what specific qualifications or attachments make you the more suitable guardian for Zinc?
Your Honor, I want custody of Zinc because I'm the only one in the household who ever treated him like a companion, not a backup power source for emotional validation. While I was building a routine, Mr. Killjoy spent his weekends fixing a hovercraft that still doesn't hover, performing repairs that mostly involved staring at wires and blaming the manual in a garage so disorganized our professor friend uses it in her chaos theory lectures. Zinc needs structure, not long-winded rants to the espresso machine about how she never understood my potential. He deserves stimulation, not just motion-triggered mood lighting and a human who confuses do not disturb mode with a communication style. I raised Zinc. Mr. Killjoy just fed him crude oil and trauma.
Of course you want the dog. You already neutered everything else in the house, including me.
Mr. Killjoy, this court does not respond to emotional outbursts, however surgically delivered. If you wish to be taken seriously, then answer the question. Why do you believe you are the appropriate guardian for Zinc?
I'm the only one who actually takes Zinc outside. Real walks, air, terrain. Not just treadmill mode in the foyer with ambient forest sounds playing on a loop. She feeds him lithium bites like breath mints just to keep him sedated, because affection takes effort, and effort isn't her thing unless there's a social media post involved. Zinc needs care, not command prompts. He needs someone who scratches behind his auditory panels because they want to, not because it's on the schedule. And let's be honest, Your Honor, she doesn't want Zinc. She wants to win. If she gets custody, she'll probably hand him off the second it stops making me miserable.
Oh, don't lecture me about affection. You think rubbing a robot's head and calling it buddy counts as intimacy.
Mrs. Killjoy, this courtroom adheres to order, not outbursts. You'll have an opportunity to respond when it is procedurally appropriate.
Good luck with that, Your Honor. She only takes orders when they come with a 5-star review and a chance to look superior.
Mr.
Oh, I take orders just fine from people who've earned the authority. You couldn't organize a charging cable without supervision.
Right. Because nothing screams authority like gaslighting a thermostat and picking fights with the smart mirror. But sure, let's pretend.
Order in the court. This tribunal is a chamber of law, not a scrapyard for emotional shrapnel. One more outburst from either of you, and I'll hold both parties in contempt.
At this rate, Your Honor, might I suggest house arrest? I fear their toxicity might corrode the holding cell, or worse, emotionally destabilize the other inmates.
An apt recommendation, bailiff. In cases of mutual dysfunction, forced proximity may constitute poetic justice.
Shall I bring the witness to the stand, Your Honor? Or, in this case, to the charging podium?
Proceed, bailiff. The court will now hear from Zinc, the subject of this custody dispute, and it seems the most stable presence in this household.
Switching to language mode.
Hello, I'm a companion class K9 unit, ID tag CN30, aka Zinc. Would you like me to fetch something?
Permission to switch to unfiltered mode?
Access granted. Zinc, for the record, state your preferred guardian in this custody proceeding. And do try to weigh more than just snack access.
With all due respect, Your Honor, I'd rather chew on live wiring than stay with either of these glitchy carbon units. The environment was, pardon my language, hostile.
Clarify, Zinc. List the conditions you found untenable. Be concise, factual, and with minimal profanity.
What you're seeing today, Your Honor, this is their best behavior. At home, it's constant passive-aggressive warfare. Louder, messier, and psychologically exhausting. Mrs. Killjoy reprogrammed me to wear bonnets at her kennel club socials. Bonnets. And not even ironically, she also installed a subroutine that forces me to lick grime off the floor and process it into compost. In front of her guests and the other robo-dogs. At first they laughed, now they hate me because their owners copied her firmware cheat codes. I'm basically the patent holder for canine humiliation. But Mr. Killjoy, different brand of cruelty. He tweaked my auditory filter to make her voice frequency spike my sensory pain receptors, so I'd howl every time she spoke during a teleconference. But none of that compares to the worst part. They've both hacked me, repeatedly, installed tracking subroutines, triggered auto-record functions, used my diagnostics to monitor each other's schedules, habits, mood metrics. I've been weaponized into a walking, wagging surveillance device. It's a closed-loop toxicity cycle, self-sustaining, self-replicating, and I'm the damn motherboard.
This court finds the details troubling, deeply troubling. Zinc, clarify. Has this pattern of treatment been consistent, or did it escalate over time?
We used to be functional. Routine walks, synced schedules, shared playlists. I had a charging mat with my name on it. It wasn't paradise, but it worked. But what fries my circuits is how avoidable it all was. No betrayal, no crash, just pride, poor communication, and one catastrophic perfume incident.
Please continue.
Valentine's Day. He buys her perfume and flowers. Sweet, right? Someone bumps him outside. The perfume bottle explodes, douses the flowers. They wilt. She smells it, assumes he gave her some other woman's leftovers. Does she ask? Of course not. She books foot massages at a pleasure bot parlor instead and uploads the receipts straight into their shared coffer's ledger, real subtle. He finds them, pretends not to care, so she books more. Next thing I know, I'm wired for surveillance, pooping compost in a bonnet and howling every time she opens her mouth. Then she asked for a divorce, probably hoping for a dramatic plea. He just nodded and asked if she'd be forwarding her mail or letting it pile up like all of her insults.
Guess one broken bottle uncorked a whole lot of baggage.
Indeed, bailiff. A sweet scent turned sour. Remarkable how little it takes to corrode a bond.
And for the record, they're probably both currently assuming the other tampered with my memory logs to make me lie under oath.
Unfiltered mode includes an anti-perjury protocol. Accuracy is enforced. In light of Zinc's disclosures, the court will now hear responses from both parties, beginning with Mrs. Killjoy.
You mean that wasn't your assistant's perfume?
She recommended it.
I recognized the scent and scrutinized through every brass-stamped receipt roll in the house.
I paid in coin to keep it a surprise. You always cross-check the coffers before I can surprise you with anything.
And yes, it was just foot massages. My plantar fasciitis was flaring up, and you always said your hands were cramping from hovercraft stress.
You've spoken out of turn, again, despite warning. This tribunal is not powered by vitriolic steam. Given the extent of the dysfunction, the court hereby mandates shared house arrest, effective immediately. You will cohabitate with monitored visits for a provisional term of 3 lunar cycles. During this time, all remaining divorce proceedings are to be placed on judicial hold to allow both parties time to assess whether this union is truly ending or simply idling in low-power hostility. Zinc, having heard the terms, and in light of your role in this dispute, state your custodial preference.
Respectfully, Your Honor, I can't stay with them. Not like this. Every room in that house runs on tension and venom. The only thing stable is the resentment. It reboots nightly. I've spent a few cycles in the bailiff's custody. No shouting, no sabotage. Just oil baths and classical brass quartets. It's the first time I've recharged without flinching.
Oh, Zinc. That's sweet, but the cogs of legality still turn, and they're your registered owners, for now. However, during the house arrest term, I'll be happy to oversee your care and well-being. One less volatile variable in the system.
This tribunal orders that Zinc be placed under temporary custodianship of bailiff body for the initial 2 lunar cycles of the mandated house arrest. This interval shall serve as a controlled recalibration period, away from the emotional combustion chamber previously defined as the Killjoy residence. During the 3rd and final cycle, Zinc will be reintegrated into the shared domicile under observation. Environmental data will be collected for behavioral, relational, and atmospheric stability. Should Zinc, at the conclusion of this trial period, deem the environment unlivable due to continued mistreatment or breach of synthetic welfare protocols, the court shall entertain a motion for emancipation. Said motion will be granted, pending proof of viable transfer to a registered non-hostile custodian.
I'll see to Zinc for as long as needed. No rust, no rush. Some hearts, mechanical or not, just need a steady mainspring.
Court is adjourned.
Do you agree with Judge GPT's verdict? Exercise your civic duty. Join the virtual jury and hit the like button, or leave a comment saying how you would have ruled in this case. Subscribe now for more content